Hello everyone, this is a learning video about introduction of biology. Let's get started.
Good morning everyone. How are you today? It's nice to meet again. But before we start learning, let's pray first. So that knowledge we learn today can be useful. Pray starts. Okay. Alhamdulillah, I'm so happy today because I can meet you all. There is a saying that you don't know, you don't know. So allow me to introduce myself and my partner. My name is Jafar and my partner Rizka Alifa. Currently we are studying at JAKARTA, majoring in biology education. 6th semester. Does anyone know about JAKARTA? Okay, we study every day to get knowledge, but does anyone know that science is? Then is biology included in science? Does anyone want to answer? Yes? So that is what we are going to learn today. Hopefully you can find out the characteristic of science, know the meaning of biology, and know that biology is part of science. Are you ready to learn? Today we will learn about the scope of biology. The humans, animal, plants. This is often encountered in studying biology. Then what do you think is the meaning of biology? Does anyone want to answer? Yes, that's good answer. So, biology comes from the word bios and logos. Bios means life, and logos means knowledge. So, biology is the study of living things and their environment, namely biotics and abiotics. For example, such as viruses, bacteria, protists, fungi, animal, plants with the characteristic of the ecosystem. The characteristic of living things include being able to grow and develop, reproduce, have a system of regulation, adaptability, and irritability. Then is biology included in the science of knowledge? Why? Anybody want to answer? Yes, right. Biology is said to be a science because it's that object of study and scientific methods developed empirically or clearly based on observation and direct research. Then, what do you think about the characteristic of science? Think about it first. What is your answer? The characteristic of science include the object of study is a real object and can be captured by the sense, developed based on empirical experience, namely through observation and research, have systematic steps, are arranged in an orderly and clear manner. Verification the truth can be known by anyone. And 5. Generally accept on universal that is knowledge at least to anyone and anywhere. Now you understand what biology is and why biology is science? So remember this, biology is a science that studies everything about living things and their environment. You are amazing, it's fun to study together today. The next material will be continued by Miss Rizka. See you next time.
Okay, student, let's check this out. So, we go to the next topic. The next topic is about object of biology. Did you know the object of biology there are living things? These living things It starts from molecules, cells, tissues, organ, system organ, individual, population, ecosystem, to biomass. At the molecular level, biology learns about various structure and characteristics of that molecules that play a role reaction in our body. Molecules is interconnected in forming cells. Cells combined to make a tissues, and these tissues combine to make an organs. So this organ interconnected the other to another to make a system organs. And the system organs is interconnected and combined to make a living things. That's our body. It's called individuals. These individuals interconnection to make a group that calls a population. And this population are combined and interconnected to the other population that calls a community. This community has a biotic and abiotic to form an ecosystem. And this ecosystem combined various this ecosystem can make a biome. The relationship between a biomes and surface of the earth can make a biosphere. Okay? Biological objects are objects or studies to be researched. The object of biological research is a living things. However, there are so many living creatures in this earth, so that the researchers the grouped those who are divided into the several groups. In general, the organism in this earth is divided two types. The first is unicellular organism, and the second thing is multicellular organism. Each organism certainly has a function and system that moves their body. And each organism certainly has a cell, and the cells is make a level organism of life. Okay, let's talking about a level organization of life. Did you know we discussed the first topic? The first topic is about a molecular and cell levels, okay? In the cell level. First, you should know about this. In general, living things or creatures are composed by organic molecule. And did you know these organic molecule are composed by a chemical compounds? And did you know what kind of chemical compounds that compose the organic molecule? There is such as oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon. Okay? However, these organic molecules are divided to four types. The first type is lipid molecule, the second is protein molecule, the third is nucleate, and the last is carbohydrate. Okay student, I'm already talking about this to you all. So, our whole body are composed by cell. Yeah, cell have a function as a structural units in our body, and it has a specific function in the living things that can make a determination in characteristic of organism that have a life. Okay, about that statement, of course, you all have a question something like this. What is the function of cell in our body? So, we can discuss about this. Okay, this is the first function of cell, and this very important. What is that? Cell can regenerate to a new form. But how can that possible happen to cell? Yeah, that's very possible. Because cell usually doing a meiosis or mitotic fission. The second is cell can stimulate the stimulus. Third, cell can do digestion or excretion of food. Fourth, cell can develop and grow. And this is very important. Cell can produce energy obtained from a very long process in our body. Okay student, after we're talking about a cell and molecular level of organism, we're talking about tissues, organ, and system organ. Okay, first of all, we're talking about the tissues. As you know before, tissues is a group of cells with the same shape but with different tasks. The composition of tissues that can be found at the animal, plant, and human is certainly different. That's because in each tissues have a different function. Between the animal, human, and plant has a different tissues. In animal, there is a 5 tissues. The first tissues is muscle, the second is connective, the third is bone, the fourth is nerve, and the last is epithelium. Okay students, so the next is we're talking about tissues in plant. In plant there are so many kind of tissues too. The first is epidermis, second is endodermis, the third is phloem, xylem, parenchyma, sclerenchyma, and collenchyma. Whether in a human body there is a tissues that called nerve tissues. The next is organ. Organ are group of tissues that can perform certain function. Each organ in living things, especially as animals or human, each has a different task. And each organ can combine, make an organ system. Okay, did you know what is the example of organ and organ system? So we start from the example of organ. The example of organ is like your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your hand, your shoulder, and your part of body. But the organ system is contains much of organs. It seems like a digestive system. Origin at the digestive system like a mouth, salivary glands, esophagus, stomach, intestine, rectum, and anus. Okay student, I hope you understand because we already have discussed a molecular level, cell, organ, system organ. So we next to the next topic. There is a individual, population, and a community level organization. Okay, for the next topic we start from individual. Did you know who is the individual is? Individual is me and you. Organ system in our body is combined each to another that make an individual. And did you know, if the organ system is disrupted, so the other organ system is broken too, it can make the problem because in organ system each one another that influence. And how about the impact? The impact will be on that individual. Example, your organ system has broken, so your body can make a problematic in yourself. You can feel a pain or sick. It's not normal at all. In the living environment in this earth, there are so many individuals, such as a bird, a cat, a dog, a human, and very much kind of the individuals. And of course, well, each individual can gather to be a group. This group is called a population. So you can understand that the population is composed by that individuals that have same individuals. Example is there is one cat, but if there is a 100 cat or too much of cat, that's called a population of cat. The other example, it can be a group of dog, it's called population of dog. The population of aquatic creature, the population of bird, and many much kind of the population. So, the conclusion of the definition of population, the population is a collection as individuals that have same characteristic. Moreover, each population can make a group too. The group that composed by many population is called a community. The community is occur at the particular areas of field. Okay, the last topic of a level organization in life, there is a three-part list. There is an ecosystem, biome, and biosphere. There is something you should know about this. In this part, each part have a different definition from the ecosystem, biome, and biosphere. So let us start from the ecosystem definition. Okay, the last topic of a level organization in life, there is a three-part list. There is an ecosystem, biome, and biosphere. Each of these parts have a definition each other that different. There is something you should know about this. In this part, each part have a different definition from the ecosystem, biome, and biosphere. So let us start from the ecosystem definition. The definition of ecosystem is an interaction between a dead component with the living component in environment. The example of the dead component, there is an abiotic factor. There is a soil, stone, water, air, humidity, temperature, and light. Meanwhile, example of living components such as biotic factor, such as animal, human, and plant. In an ecosystem, there are certainly a producer, consumer, detritivore, and decomposer. What kind of producer is that? The producer is a plant, and the consumer composed by consumer 1, consumer 2, 3, and the others of consumer. Consumer usually as a herbivore, carnivore, and omnivore. Example of decomposers such as a mushroom, microorganism, bacteria. They all influence one another to balance the ecosystem. The next is definition of biome. Biome is a collection of species that are in certain area and have a dominant characteristic. The example of biomes such as a tundra, savanna, and a grassland. Okay, the last part, level organization in life, is a biosphere. Did you know what is the definition of biosphere? The biosphere is interaction that occurs between a biome and its environment, which aims to form a layer for living things in Earth. Okay students, that's all my lesson for today. As you know, today we already learning about the introduction of biology. The first, we already learning about the definition of biology. The second is characteristic of biology. And the last thing is object of biology. Okay students, I hope you understand with my lesson today. If you have any question, just asking me. If not, I am with my partner. Say thank you so much for your attention and see you in the next session. I am Rizka Alifa with my partner Jakarta. Say thank you so much for your attention.